Welcome. It's time for another edition of Dave Learns AI. It is season 2. We have a new look. We have a new vibe. We are out of the studio. Part of the reason being that we just can't stand being in the same room together.
True.
But you know what? We're all about discovering tools here with Dave Learns AI. And one of the tools that we're using for this right now is Riverside, which a great podcast tool that we thought we'd give it a shot and see how it works. And that's, if you're watching this, that's how you're watching it. If you're listening, it really doesn't matter how you're listening. You're just listening, right?
We need to know if we still sound good. If we
Yeah.
still sound sexy.
Well, you guys never sounded good. It was always me. I know that I look good. Dave looks like he's on a dial-up modem from the 90s. Dave is using a potato crate as his modem.
I have my my Android phone holding it in front of me. You know, what are you gonna do?
Unbelievable. Dave is the green bubble of podcasting.
Yeah. Well,
We may just release this one to Spotify and nothing visual.
Yeah, right. Don't want to see it. Anyway, Dave Learns AI. This is where we teach you guys some new tricks of the trade. Actually, teach me too. That's where it all kind of came from. Dave learning AI. Me being Dave. I have always been the one who is a little less quick when it comes to new advances in technology, I guess. But you know, we've kind of gone into super speed ever since we formed Taptico Solutions. And you know, in this podcast, we have Nick Tapp, the founder of Taptico Solutions, and then, of course, the lovely, beautiful, talented Mr. Tribble Reese, dad to be.
Dad to be.
Yeah, we brought him in to be our content guy and really the just the handsome one in the bunch. So we are here. We're going to talk specifically. I think what we want to do and focus on season 2 is we want to talk about tools. I have kids, and oftentimes my kids will play with something, and I have to say, "Hey, that's not a toy. That's a tool." So it's not something you can necessarily play with. So with modern technology and with AI and all that, there are a lot of toys, and there are tools. I'll give you an example of what I'm thinking about, like Sora. Sora to me is a toy.
Yes.
It doesn't feel as much like a tool because of the limitations of what Sora can provide. So what we want to do in season 2 is really feature some tools, things that we utilize for our clients, things that we utilize for our personal stuff, and then teach you about it so that way you know, number 1, how to use it, number 2, if you should use it, number 3, what it's all about. So it's kind of my lead in. And Nick, today our tool is going to be what, sir?
Today our tool is Perplexity. Perplexity.
Perplexity.
Let's do something cool with that in post. We got to post production on this, right? Pew, pew, pew.
Perplexity.
Perplexity AI. It is a search and answer engine, it's basically Google on like every banned substance from any athletic competition.
Yeah, I like to consider Perplexity as the research LLM. It really does deep dives at a really fast pace. It does deep dives on any of the really answers that you need that require a little bit of searching, a little bit of depth, maybe some charts. But there's a research toggle, as you guys know, that when you click the research toggle on Perplexity, it really does a deep dive for whatever you're looking for.
They call that deep research.
Even better than deep dive. So I kind of look at it this way. Yesterday, we used Google to find information, right? You Google information. Today, we use tools like Perplexity to understand information. Now, within Perplexity, there's something called Comet, which we'll talk about, and that's kind of the agent. It is the agent portion of what Perplexity offers. And tomorrow, things like Comet will go do some of the work for us online. So actually, we'll go and do it. Not just understanding the information, finding the information, but then doing something with that information. And Perplexity and Comet is 2 of those 3 channels.
Yeah, let's real quick back to the search stuff. So what makes it Google on steroids is that it goes out and it searches literally dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of different resources. So right now, Google will go out and find all the resources, and then it's up to you to go through the resources and find the information that you want. That's the SERP page, right? The search engine results page. So that's what you get when you Google something. What's the best Italian place around me? It gives you a list and a map. But what Perplexity does is it goes, finds all those same pages. It goes and finds the same maps. It goes to Yelp. It gets the ratings. It goes to all the websites to do food reviews in your city, or even any websites that have done reviews on the actual restaurants. And it gives you a full understanding and a 360 degrees understanding with complete context over what the best Italian is close to you. And then if you have a question, where do they find this? It cites all the answers. So basically, instead of a Google search that gives you appetizer, like one bites, like the rich people food, where the eighth course is something this big, Perplexity gives you the 8-course meal, which is all you can eat Ryan's buffet, but you can trace back if you need to figure out where it got the information. So basically, every search is a research paper.
Yeah. And within that, Nick, what's cool about Perplexity, I always like to think like ChatGPT was probably our first foray into large language models. And I always think about like, what does Perplexity do better than ChatGPT? And when I am researching on Perplexity, I love that it gives those individual sources for each point. So if it says something that stands out in my research that I want to go in and look more into, it right by that point within the answer, you can click on it and see where they got that information from.
Which is good. And then also it provides follow-up questions.
Yeah.
So you can do rabbit holes galore with Perplexity, because if you're asking something about the 1988 Olympics, would you like to find out the same statistics for the 1992 Olympics?
Yeah.
It's almost too helpful, like ChatGPT does, except it actually unlocks creativity in you because it gives you more to think about and more, it rounds out your search, whatever. So it's really, really good for like competitive analysis and stuff like that.
I think that's what's interesting about all these LLMs is because you do have different tools that are offering different advantages in whatever you're looking for. ChatGPT, you can get good information from ChatGPT. Perplexity gives you great information. Like it really does go a whole lot deeper. But Perplexity doesn't really give you the best creative ideas, though. And that's where you'll use something like Claude or ChatGPT or even Manus. Perplexity, I think, as a whole, nobody's contacted me about their marketing, but I would think as a whole, their thing is, hey, we're about research. We're about information more than anything else. And then now with the addition of Comet, and we'll get into that, now we want to help you utilize that information and actually get something done. I think of this as, for small businesses, we work with small businesses and it's really important for us to utilize the best tools to help them, get a competitive advantage to some of their competition. Here's something that you could do as a small business is, you check out your 5 competitors' websites, and you can ask Perplexity to do that. Take your 5 competitors, say Perplexity, check out my 5 competitors' websites, tell me how their pricing and their offers compare to mine. And you can do that, and they'll create a simple table, and it'll give you all this information, has researched that information from your competitors. And now, again, as a research tool, it allows you to have that advantage of going, oh, okay, I have this information now in front of me, and it allowed me to be better at what I'm doing. So that's just one of the many examples of what, Perplexity can do for you as a small business owner.
And to that point, Dave, if you're in retail or if you're even a restaurant and you want to know what's going on, like what's going on in social media and what people are talking about on social media, what are the food trends? What do people like hamburgers this year? Whatever you want to research. What I like about Perplexity is you can click on a toggle that allows you just to really search social media and what the opinions that are coming back. So you can get like more of a social barometer than just what the internet spits out. Yeah,
the social sentiment is huge on that. Another thing, especially right now, and current political times. Let's talk politics. Just kidding.
Oh yeah.
I'm an extreme moderate, but what you can do is you can get, an unbiased view, because what Perplexity does, if you ask about a specific thing that you're seeing, as opposed to pulling from an echo chamber, it goes out and it gets the top resources, and it comes back with more of a mixture of all of them, so you can really get all the information, not anything that's spun towards whatever your echo chamber is, which is fantastic for me because I just want truth, So Perplexity is fantastic about finding unbiased news on political and current events.
One of the things I love about the feature is anytime it pulls research information, it does have a direct link to where it got that information. So if there's ever a question or you want more specific about that section of research that's been pulled, right within the results that you get, there's a link that goes straight to the source. So I think that's a really cool tool too, because sometimes when you're getting information from another LLM, it's just spitting stuff out at you and you're like, I don't know if that's real. Where did that come from? Where Perplexity is kind of like, hey, listen, we can't verify it's real, but here's the information.
They can pinpoint exactly where they pulled it from.
Yeah.
I touched on that earlier.
Yeah, and as we transition a little bit more into kind of talking about the agent feature, which I think Nick will be really good at talking about this, but so ChatGPT had I think they were probably the first one with the agent, with Atlas, which allows...
It's an assistant.
Comment came out first, but ChatGPT had Operator, which was the first mass released agentic AI.
Are we calling it an agent or an assistant?
It is an agent, but it assists you.
That lives on their own search engine.
What?
Yes. The search engine has basically it's an agent that assists you on whatever you're working on within your web browser. So if you're on Google Chrome, you have to be on Comet in this instance. So you would download Comet instead of Google Chrome, and then you'll have on the right-hand side basically a chat window, just like you have when you're in ChatGPT. And it can see your screen. You can say, hey, I can't find the toggle to make this private. Or how do I change my email address or update this DNS record, which is something we've been dealing with. And it will walk you through it. So it is a huge help. Comet is fantastic. It's free, right? I think you might have to have Perplexity Pro, which is $20 a month. But it's fantastic. And it works on older laptops and machines.
See, that was one of the reasons why I ended up gravitating towards Comet. My computer is a little too old.
We can tell.
Yeah, you can tell by the screen. Atlas.
It's a camcorder.
Yeah, exactly. Atlas for ChatGPT I can't get because I have to have a newer computer. So I instead, which I like Perplexity a lot anyway. I utilize it a lot as an LLM for research and stuff. But because it has Comet, and I use that browser in a lot of the stuff I do, and to the point where not only does it look at necessarily what I'm looking at, but it'll also give that, that whole takeover thing where you're like, okay, I'm overwhelmed right now. Can you do this for me? And it'll take over your screen and start doing it. I utilize...
That's the agentic quality. So that's what's an agent.
Okay.
An example of how I utilize it is I had a client and we had a CRM account and we had a website and we wanted to connect the two pieces so that way, we're pulling information from one and, I'm sitting there and at that particular time I'm like, okay, the routing of all this, the workflow of all this is overwhelming me. So here, do this for me, please, Comet. Log in and like, okay, no problem, blah, 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 connect, and boom. Suddenly everything is done for me. The good thing about that too is it gives you an explanation of what's being done. There's a fear that if we give too much to AI, then we don't actually learn anything. Well, when you're in Perplexity and you're in Comet, it give a step by step. And if you're really paying attention, then you're learning the process as the process is happening and not just like going to take a smoke break or something like that and coming back and, oh, it's done. You can actually watch and go, oh, okay, I got it, So just utilizing that as a tool has been just a time saver for sure. But it also,
I think that
go ahead.
I just think that is one of the most mind-blowing things that I've seen besides my first, interaction with an LLM, where I was like, whoa, this is really powerful. When I started seeing what it could do with Atlas, with ChatGPT, and now with Perplexity, with Comet, watching it, me literally a human telling it what I want it to do in just plain broken English, and for it to literally grab everything on the website that I'm looking for and to be able to put it all together, to understand me first of all, and then to put it all together across tabs. It's just like that was one of the biggest moments. I was just like, okay, another level of AI has entered the chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
As somebody who does mostly content, Tribble, I would imagine that you probably don't utilize it a whole lot for a lot of the stuff that you do, but
No, I don't. But you know what, in my personal life, I like to, talking about the agentic part of Perplexity. Have y'all ever used the tasks feature? It's kind of buried within there. But what's cool about tasks is you can basically give it instructions to, one of the main reasons I use it is at Twitter X now. It basically doesn't give you the followers that you really want to follow what they're saying. So I pick 3 or 4, 10 of my favorite people to follow on X. And I say, hey, give me the tweets or give me the posts from X from these guys over the past 24 hours. And every morning I can wake up to that, as well as, hey, give me some AI news. What are some of the top 5 topics from AI news? And it'll go, and it basically gives you a report every morning, which is super cool.
that is cool.
Not just cool,
Yeah.
but super cool.
That's
It can also give you gap analysis. So this is more for business owners. Like if you're trying to figure out where you can fit in the marketplace, right? I'm just going to use Raising Cane's as an example, right? They don't do chicken sandwiches. All they do is chicken fingers and crinkle cut French fries, right? That's all they do, but they're the best at that. So if they were to run a gap analysis, Perplexity would come back to them and say, well, you should offer chicken sandwiches or fish. Have you ever tried, fish fillets or whatever? But what it allows you to do is to really do a deep dive SWOT analysis of all your competitors, the marketing landscape and all that stuff. Figure out if there's a hole in the market, a gap, and it analyzes those gaps, and it gives you some tactical ways to attack those gaps in your marketing and your branding and in your services.
So ultimately, you think about this tool and how you can utilize this. If you're a small business owner or you're a marketing person and you're like, man, there's so many tools, I don't know how to utilize them properly. That's really why we're here. We like to say we learn the tools so you don't have to. At Taptico Solutions.
Actually, we say we learn AI so you don't have to.
Yeah, that's more official. Sorry, I like the specific. We learn AI so you don't have to.
But imagine if someone Googled the tools. What would they get?
They get a picture of us 3.
Hey,
Yeah!
I was thinking it. Dave said it.
I celebrate it.
Thank you. Yeah. So ultimately, we learn it for you. We're happy to come in and teach you and your team how to utilize some of this AI and some of these tools. We're also for hire in the sense of setting up your systems and your marketing and your back end AI infrastructure. Ultimately, that's why we're here. That's why we've created Taptico. That's why Nick created Taptico and hired me, just because I had nothing else to do.
I like to feel smart, and Dave makes me feel smart. Also, real quick, we are going to give a quick start guide to Perplexity. Head over to our website, taptico.com, fellas.com.
With an M. We've got the M.
Got the M, baby.
We got the M. We're grooving. We are moving on up to the side.
For those who are
We finally got him.
for those just tuning in, all last year we were talking. It was our website was taptico.co, and that we couldn't afford the M. Well, we have the M. It is now Taptico.
It's on layaway. But
we're making payments.
We're making payments on it.
So
yeah, head over there.
Yeah, head over to the website. Finish what you're saying.
Yeah, head over there and just register or download it, and we will get you. It's a nice little handy guide, and it's got prompts to get you rolling, some case studies. all that different stuff. And if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us on any social media platform or our emails. It's our first names at taptoco.com. And yeah, thanks for listening if you're still listening.
Yeah. And obviously you can download some of our previous episodes on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube as well. And we would love for you to check out our new website. Our new website. We also have an AI like starter quiz to determine where you're at in the process. What do I need? How do I need it? Pardon me. So if you go to our website, you can do that. You can set up appointments there. And we've got some great features of things that, if you want to stick your toes in very slowly into this world that we're into, we've got different processes that'll allow you affordability wise to kind of understand a little bit more about what we're doing and help us help you moving forward in your business. So
that's right.
Right on.
Cool.
Well, guys, this is our first episode in season 2.
Congratulations, everyone.
Felt good. Feels good. Feels good not being around y'all, and the smell's cleaner here.
Yeah, I can
in
finally
space.
breathe through my nose again. It's great.
And now I don't have
Granted,
to
I am the one that looks like I just got out of off of the rails. I live in a very old house, and it's very cold in here. And by the way, if you watch this later, it's January the 21st, 22nd, this will probably drop on, and it's like 12 degrees outside.
Yeah.
So that's why.
We're going to make it. We're going to make it. I think we're going to make it. It's much colder up north. We're about to get a bunch of snow up there. So we just be happy. It is what it is. But guys, thank you. Until next week.
Thanks, Dave.
Appreciate you. And
Thank you, Dave.
for teaching me some stuff
Love
today.
you all.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
See y'all soon.